today is the owner of the store, Carlisle Jensen. Carlisle, tell me a little bit about this store.
So we are a store and workshop center. We started around women's sexuality, but of course what's good for her is good for him. And so we have a lot of products and workshops that also cater to men as well as couples.
You know, I really like that comment you made. It was, you know, what's good for her is also good for him and vice versa. Is that something you explain in your workshops and your programs that you do here?
Well, certainly if you're in a relationship with somebody, both people have to be happy and both people need to feel satisfied and that they are satisfying their desires and their interests. So we definitely, even when we're focused around women's sexuality, we incorporate what are the issues around your partner, how can you please your partner, how can you entice and invite your partner to bring more pleasure to you as well. So everybody has a better time.
Oh, okay. So today we're talking about I guess it's a device, is it, that is for prostate play? And what is this device called?
So it's the Aneros, and it's a really good tool whether you are a novice or an expert in anal pleasure. I find that the size of it makes it that it's easy for a novice to try. You can use it on your own or with a partner, so some people feel more comfortable in one environment or another. And it's also something that comes in a few different sizes, and if you're a pro, you can get something that's more tailor-made for more experienced. Certainly men have concerns, and so do women, about prostate play, and part of it is the notion that maybe is it dirty, is it wrong, right, that it's an exit not an entrance, and that it puts into question heterosexual men's sexual orientation. And so one of the things that I like to suggest is that, you know, 35% of heterosexual men like to receive anal pleasure. 35% of gay men like to receive anal pleasure. What's the common denominator? They're men with prostates enjoying pleasure and health from their prostate.
Now, women have this thing called the G-spot, right? So tell me a little bit about that on the men.
So, I mean, the prostate is often called the male G-spot. And, you know, there aren't really many people around who have both, you know, prostate and the G-spot. So it's hard to compare the pleasure. But certainly how it appears and how people describe it is that the G-spot and the prostate produce similar ecstatic kinds of pleasurable feelings. And some people also argue that massaging the G-spot is also a good, healthy thing to do. So I think certainly anatomically they're analogous. I think they start from the same place in the embryo. So they're both really fabulous places to stimulate, and a lot of men don't necessarily know about it, right? We hear a lot about the G-spot. The prostate doesn't get quite as much airtime.
Now this is the Aneros device, is that right? It doesn't look that nothing that you should be afraid of too much here, I guess. Is there any batteries here? Like, how do you plug it in, or how does it work?
No, no, it's pretty easy. It's also one thing to notice is that it's not too thick, right? It's a little bit thicker than a finger. But I always say that anything that's smaller than what comes out is going to go in relatively easy, right? So the way that it works is that you insert it, and this area is on the belly button side. Okay. Right? And so the way this is to hold on to, this will stimulate the perineum. Okay. And the base of the penis is just up inside there. So you get a little bit of stimulation on the base of the penis. Okay. And then once inserted, the prostate is going to be around here. And it's sort of just on the wall of the rectum. And what a man will do is squeeze his PC muscles. So he squeezes around as though he was trying to stop a bowel movement. Right? Okay.
Those are what we also call like the sphincter muscles. Is that right? Okay.
Yep,
same ones. Yep. Okay.
Yep.
Good. All right.
So you squeeze the sphincter muscles. And when you do that, what it does is that it pushes it forwards. And if this is where the prostate was, it does a little like beep and stimulates the prostate. and then you relax, and then you squeeze, and you relax, and you squeeze.
Okay.
And that's how you stimulate the prostate with the Aneros.
Something like, I guess what women have is they have multiple orgasms. You can experience multiple orgasms with this on the male side as well?
Yes. And the difference is that for men, actually orgasm and ejaculation are two separate events.
Okay.
But they happen within 1 second of each other, so most men experience them as the same thing, but they're not. And so what you can do is, if you orgasm but you don't ejaculate, you can have more and more orgasms. It's the ejaculation that men can usually only do once. So if you exercise with the Aneros on your prostate,
right,
and you pleasure it, you could have an orgasm without ejaculating potentially, and then women can experience. And of course, anal pleasure is something that both men and women can experience. And for women, especially some women describe G-spot play, but not necessarily. That I find that women are capable of having longer orgasms, more full-bodied orgasms, more intense orgasms, and men can as well learn those kinds of things. And certainly what I've noticed from men who have had prostate orgasms is that their orgasms are like rocket ships. They're longer, they're more powerful, they're deeper, they're more intense, they're more satisfying. I've seen men like vibrating, you know, from them. And they're just a much more pleasurable kind of experience. And so it potentially, one could say that it's more similar to the kinds of orgasms that women experience. The best way to introduce people to it is to talk about the health and the pleasurable benefits to it, and to help them understand that it's really easy to use, and that it can be a great way for a couple to build intimacy, to have additional sexual activities they can enjoy together, to build their relationship together.
Now, Carlisle, is this, it is a plastic device. Is this like a one-time use only type of thing?
No, no, no. You can use it many, many times. So what you want to do is, when you've used it, just wash it with soap and water.
Okay.
And then you're good to go for the next time. You don't need to use any fancy cleaners on it. Some people do prefer to put it inside a condom.
Okay.
And then they just take the condom off and then it's cleaned for the next time.
Okay, that's a good idea.
Those are two different ways that most people will use to maintain their Aneros.
A lot of owners of the Aneros male G-spot stimulator are able to attain what's commonly called the Super O, or super orgasm, without any type of penile stimulation. It is a dry orgasm, not unlike that of women. Men are capable of multiple, non-ejaculatory orgasms, just like women, but very few men know this. Unfortunately, the male anatomy is overshadowed by the more marketable female body. There's just more information out there available for women, and men don't spend a lot of time discussing their bodies. But today, this product is for you guys, and we put together an amazing offer, but only if you call now. Welcome back. You know, all joking aside, guys should really take their prostate health seriously. It has a direct effect on your overall sexual health, including ED, erectile dysfunction, sexual stamina, prostate disease, and some even say prostate cancer. Let's listen in on Brianna as she talks to a couple who've just experienced an Aneros prostate massage device.
And we have a couple special